In September, we all have a big decision to make. At the referendum, we will have to choose whether to keep something we know works for Scotland, a successful Scottish Parliament inside the United Kingdom, or whether to take the gamble of going it alone. There is so much that sounds black and white in this debate. Alex Salmond's independence campaign constantly tell you that you have to make a difficult choice. You don't. Scotland can have the best of both worlds. We don't need to choose between the best things about being a small country and the best things about being part of something bigger. We don't need to choose between having a distinctive Scottish voice and having the security and opportunities that come from being part of one of the biggest economies in the world. We know we can feel proudly Scottish and feel a connection to something bigger, to friends and family and the rest of the United Kingdom. That is the great thing about devolution. It is how it is always meant to work. 25 years ago, devolution campaigners established the Scottish Constitutional Convention. At the first meeting, John Smith described the creation of a devolved Parliament for Scotland as
the settled will of the Scottish people.
Supporters of devolution from different political parties, churches, charities and trade unions came together to plan that Parliament. Alex Salmond and the SNP boycotted the convention and stood outside the devolution consensus, where they have stayed ever since. Alex Salmond told people then that they had to vote for independence because the UK would never deliver more powers. He called the devolution plans created by the convention
a toothless tiger, a puppet assembly, dangling on a Westminster string.
And he told us,
I wouldn't trust Labour to deliver a pizza, let alone a Scottish Parliament.
Of course, a Scottish Parliament was delivered. Today, Holyrood is a fixture in our lives. Every day, the Scottish Parliament is making important decisions, with full responsibility for areas such as health, education, transport, law and order. The decisions that have been taken in Holyrood have changed and improved our country since its establishment in 1999. And it wasn't just in Scotland that devolution was introduced. 10 years after its creation, the pro-devolution parties came back together to establish a commission on how Scotland could build on the success of devolution. The Calman Commission. Once again, the Nationalists opposed its creation and demanded division instead. They told us then,
it's clear that Labour has no intention of increasing powers to the Parliament and is simply playing politics with the Calman Commission.
But as before, the pro-devolution parties did deliver with new tax raising and financial powers for the Parliament, while keeping the strength and financial security of being part of the bigger United Kingdom. This year sees the 15th birthday of the Scottish Parliament. Once again, the pro-devolution parties are looking at how to strengthen it. And again, like a broken record, the SNP is saying that no powers will come into the Parliament and that we'll need to vote to leave the United Kingdom. The Nationalists opposed devolution before it was established. They opposed the efforts to strengthen devolution, and they still do. But even the SNP will have to give up on separation and support devolution if there is a vote to stay in the UK this September. At the referendum, we have a choice between devolution or separation. We can choose to have the best things about having a strong Scottish voice and to keep the best things about being part of something bigger. Let's vote to stay in the UK and let's choose the best of both worlds.